Good evening, everyone. We're back for yet another session of Adventures in Middle-earth for tonight's wonderful, action-packed, maybe, depends on the players and the roles sort of session.
Do you want action? I'll give you action.
And everybody roll initiative.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And before we get into anything, everybody roll D20.
No.
Oh no!
Any other occasion, Lindsay's all about rolling dice.
Oh wow.
Here's my screen to do that. Oh, it's over here behind battle cards. I'll eventually get a setting I like. Not me.
Actually, yeah, it's going to be you, because Fig did it last week.
Damn it! Why did it have her roll then?
For the thrill.
I'm a loose cannon. You never know what I'm going to do.
Wait.
Gotta keep us on our toes.
No kidding.
Yep. Locke, would you be so kind as to give us a recap from last week?
No, I honestly am terrible for that. No. Last week was fellowship phase for everyone. We had Malvhor's dating sim adventure with Goldwyn. 1001 questions with Kev. How not to temper a weapon with Locke. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what the heck Lindsay did. Nor do I apparently have any notes on it. Great. Oh, wait. Yeah, I do. It was a whole lot of her going out into the woods and getting spoiler gods nicknames. Blade meat sandal, gold inside image flower. Oh, no, that's my weapon. No. More from handle, vision goes white. Large group of armed elves marching through the city, large roadways, closed grip, or closed gate. Oh no, that's me and my sword, sorry. I'm remembering. Hey, there, I'm good. We've got the giver of fruits, protector of plants, and ordainer of harvests.
There we go.
Okay.
Fig decided to not read books.
She also saw the Maiar in her vision, specifically gray, white, 2 blue, and a brown.
Fig decided to trip instead of read.
And Kevin met Milo Thatch. I mean, Aaron.
Oh yes, Aram.
Yep. Correct. So
Kind of scatterbrained, but
hey, it is what it is, and it's.
I think I covered most things.
Very high level. Fellowship had a fellowship phase, which they basically separated within the city and did what they wished to do their own undertakings, whether they were going to progress relationships or better themselves or find knowledge of some sort. Malvhor sought out a patron for the fellowship who ended up being Goldwyn and actually earned you guys a decent, in my humble opinion, because I created it, decent boon for the fellowship at your guys' current crossroads of events. Initially, Cirion and Fig went to the Hall of Lore to investigate and research some things that they had at the forefront of their mind. Reading wasn't high up on the list of Fig's to-do list, so she promptly left and decided to be upon nature and meditate upon her topics. Cirion looked into your benefactor from Osgiliath, Rador, seemingly what he was up to prior to your guys' interaction with him. What is he doing in Osgiliath and what are his end goals, essentially? Fig looked into this mysterious voice that has been talking to her and the one individual she met in the forest in Athelion known as Arwendel. And of course, Locke, our artificer of Ergion, took the weapon that he swiped from Osgiliath, seemingly that rightfully belonged to his people, and investigated it in Pelargir and found an enchantment had been bestowed upon it, and he went through a process to take that enchantment and be able to potentially use it later, but in the process, the sword was destroyed. Fig! Unmute yourself. I see you.
I was moving my mic around.
Seeing how you're the only one currently without inspiration, you get this week's trivia question.
Oh no.
To see if you can,
Not
to see if
me.
you can, to see if you
I kind of want to hear like the
reclaim-
Wheel of Fortune theme.
Oh, I only took
Can
notes
you-
on my own bit.
Can you reclaim your lost inspiration with this week's Adventures of Middle-earth trivia question?
I can't put this on my head. My headphones are in the way. Yes. Sure.
During your guys' fellowship phase,
Uh-huh.
Locke.
Uh-oh.
I think I was going to ask you a question about your
This is
own
what you get for
character.
abandoning me.
I wasn't. Look, Fake found cats. She forgot everything after that.
Locke, and this is, player knowledge. This has nothing to do with what Fig knows or doesn't.
Glorfindel.
I didn't even ask a question. And you know what?
How-
You're wrong, so you're done. That'll teach you.
I'm curious what the question was going to be.
How
No,
great
no,
would have
it's
been though if
ruined
she was
now.
right?
Locke investigated the blade that he had swiped and found an emblem set upon it. That emblem was a representation of a particular house. What was that house? You didn't come through.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you now.
It's not Glorfindel? Oh, wait.
The name of the house, not the head of the
Oh.
house.
Fudge. I don't think I got...
I don't want to get.
I think the funniest part is I said it when I was doing my read off of everything.
Yep, and my brain completely blanked. Well, I mean, oh no, I don't have it off the top of my head because now I don't remember, and now I feel put on the spot and also like a jerk. So, no, I don't remember.
Okay.
Fine.
The answer is
So
the,
the
House of
golden flower,
Oh, I was thinking. Oh, that's
which
why my
Glorfindel
brain
is the head of the house of.
Yes, you're correct. He is the head of the house, but not.
Yes,
That's not the name of the house.
And so I was on the right track,
So
but
she
I kept.
was right.
Well,
She wasn't
But
right.
no,
she was
she
on
didn't-
track.
Right,
Yeah.
no,
yeah.
but still, to me, it's just funny. Like how funny would it be if she was right? She was kind of right.
Well, I was like, you started the question. I was like, oh, he's totally gonna ask it, so I'm just gonna save in time and answer. And then, yeah, that didn't work.
Just switch the question.
Also, I wasn't gonna end up remembering anyways, because while I had a flower in my head, I just kept thinking the White Lotus. Wrong flower.
Now, what's
Uh.
funny to me about this entire thing is I was actually going to apologize because I was watching part of the VOD and realized how bad my ADHD was last session. And when other people's things were going on, I was staring down a lot. But I still listened to the damn story, clearly.
Listen? Wow! Sorry, I thought of a different fucking flower!
No, I'm saying you made the outright claim, oh, I only took notes on mine.
Oh, well. I still. What? Continue.
Mom, Dad, please stop
I
fighting.
go from feeling bad to being like, wow, I outperformed Lindsay for once.
All right. Unfortunately, Fig, no inspiration for you
That's
today. Maybe you'll earn it some other ways, but in this particular session, it will not be through today's trivia question.
All
right. So, after you all conclude your undertakings and you sort of reconvene after a day or two, maybe, of doing what you want and sort of relaxing and getting a feel for the city and just attending to your own affairs, you all slowly come to, whenever you so choose, at the parlor, one by one, as the sun pokes through the glass windows and gently wakes you up, or in some cases, some of you might be rudely awoken as several kneading paws are sort of like digging into your chest in the morning as a few of the cats are moving about. But the morning is yours.
How'd you sleep, kid?
Not bad, considering.
Music playing?
What?
Is there music playing?
Yes. Is anybody hearing anything?
No.
Oh.
This happened the same time last time. You paused or
did.
something for
I
the
never pause
intro
it.
music,
The
and then
first intro music ends, and then I play another one immediately after.
oh well, it didn't work just like last time. Your
Yeah.
transition.
Something about the
All right,
intro
everyone,
song.
refresh.
We're just gonna have to refresh every time.
Song.
Speaking of cats clawing,
I see one.
I'm sure Fig's conked out on the floor, just like with like 3 cats on her.
meanwhile, there's still half a dozen mewling outside Cirion and Malvhor's room.
Yes, because cats go after the ones that they will annoy the most.
Anybody hearing anything?
No.
Oh, it would help if I clicked to join.
I also cleared my cookies. See if that would help.
Haven't refreshed too hard.
Yeah, if you're playing anything, I can't hear it.
Okay, all right. Amending the cast, please. RP amongst yourselves. Progress the story while I deal with technical issues for the 5th fucking time!
So how'd you sleep? How'd you sleep, kid?
Not too bad considering the circumstances. How'd you sleep?
What do you mean, considering the circumstances? I think we have some nice arrangement here.
We have nice
Could hear
arrangements.
you from this room, Malvhor.
Stop eavesdropping!
You were snoring.
Do you and Locke want to share the room instead?
I don't know I don't know if I would survive being.
I mean, he can hear you, you can hear him. You guys clearly got a connection.
Oh!
So, I mean,
You probably could have heard me too. I was literally yelling from the next room.
Wait, you can't hear him yelling?
I can hear him yelling. That's why I said you can hear him. It's just a collective.
Do you and Locke have a thing?
No.
Okay. I mean, that makes about as much sense as the other
I'm just
way.
saying. I don't know. But when you die, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be helping dig that grave.
Who do you think's gonna die first, me or you?
The way I drink, probably me.
Speaking of which, we gotta start our day.
Let's run down and get breakfast. Let's grab the others.
How many cats are on Vic?
3.
Yes, I can do an insight check or perception. I don't know.
But I'm like slowly like doing some stretches and getting ready. But like if I like hold my arms out to stretch, I pick up a cat doing so, and I'm just like. But I'll do some quick little scritches while putting on armor.
You chose
Immediately
well.
going to the armor.
Huh?
And
Said immediately going to the armor.
Always the armor.
Expecting trouble.
You never
Trouble
know.
expects her.
you chose well, and I'm that much more disappointed that you left me away for a day.
What?
You got to sleep with the cats an extra night. Jealous.
Oh. Would you like one? And I hold one up.
I probably have several myself.
Probably.
I'm just gonna go over and I'm gonna see the equivalent of a Simba scene, like Vig giving Locke a cat, just holding her arms out like Rafiki, and be like, breakfast, you too?
Cat.
No, thank you. Maybe later. And you know what? I'll be like, I'll go pet the cat.
I didn't.
Hold up, Pat.
I don't think I
His
should be.
arms go limp.
I don't think I
He's
should
not
be
enjoying being
surprised. But I didn't
By
take you.
Kevin specifically.
I didn't take you to be a cat person, Locke.
Sometimes it's the most intelligent conversation I can find, especially with present company.
Wow.
Not you, Vig. Not you, Cirion.
Started out your day early.
Oh, my day
Serious.
started 4 hours ago, you lazy bums.
Well, I do need my beauty sleep.
Up with the
Done you
sun.
no good thus far.
Okay, well, you two have a lover's quarrel. I'm gonna go get breakfast. I'm gonna
You're
leave
the one
room.
sleeping with him, not me.
Yeah,
And
let's go, kid.
and I'm-
It's you and me.
And I'm gonna yell back as after he says it, and I'm the big spoon, and I'm gonna keep walking.
Yeah, you are, and I'm gonna just follow.
That explains so much.
Figure making this face just like, what?
Oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and don my gear too.
I thought he like
Head down there.
Do we have to state that we don our gear? Am I just going around in my PJs?
It might be.
I'm gonna grab my dagger, lace that up to me, and I'm just gonna go down in my comfy clothes first.
Street clothes, got it.
I mean, my gear is just leather, so I will put it on because it's just leather. It acts as
Exactly.
clothing. It's not like plate arm metal or anything.
Yeah,
It's
mine's, mine's chainmail, so I'm gonna take a little break.
Jangle, 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 jangle.
I'm fully decked out, got the wolf pauldron and everything. I'm ready.
All right.
I like it.
Vig's just ready to fuck somebody up.
Like, oh.
How do the
He
cats?
is our mascot horror character.
How do the cats feel about the pauldron? The wolf pauldron.
Oh, I hold a cat up to the pauldron. Then I just stare at it.
Give me an insight check.
Just like, what do you think?
What do you think? Tell me.
Why?
showing-
Can
are you
I
holding
save that rule for something else?
Are you
Like,
holding it up so it looks at the pauldron, or are
it's
you holding it up
facing
so
the
you can look
pauldron.
at it?
I'm holding the cat up and then off slightly to the side so it's facing the pauldron.
It
And
just
I'm
sort
just
of
staring at the cat.
it just has like with its arms limp out and just sort of dangling there. It's sort of blankly staring at the pauldron, and it just slowly goes boop on its snout.
I don't
It
think
doesn't-
it cares.
It doesn't seem to treat it like it's a hostile thing or anything like that. It doesn't seem to care.
I was just curious, because it does look intimidating. But interesting. I shall take note of that.
Pet the
God
boy.
bless you, Fig.
Fig's
Valor bless
allergic
you.
Ugh.
Fig's allergic to cats.
I put the cat down and I just do. Ugh.
Yeah, you were holding a really like long-haired, almost Maine Coon kind of
Oh no! Don't say that to my nose.
white and gray cat. It just gets put down
Oh.
and just trots off. The four of you gather what things you want for the immediate future and head out your rooms and head out towards the sort of landing balcony area that splits off and goes downstairs. And you begin heading down the stairs. Fig and Locke. Fig mostly because of your personality. Locke because this is sort of like really the first time you've been here and you're still acclimating to your surroundings. You notice the portrait that still is like adorned center in the second floor that appears to be a finely made painting of a woman in a rather decent or nice looking gown or dress of sorts. Fig, what catches your attention is that as you're walking, you get this uneasy feeling looking at it, like the eyes are following you.
I'll just stop and stare. Nothing.
Are you proficient in history?
Touch it.
I don't know. No.
I am.
Give me a history check.
I'm proficient in nature.
That
But again,
gets you
it's
nothing here. Why would nature have anything to do with a portrait of a woman?
I don't know. Maybe there's a plant in the picture.
I accidentally rolled at advantage, but a 1, so nothing.
It's decently made.
6 modified.
It's a nice painting. That's about it.
Well made.
There. Clearly, I just burned my inspiration here.
Why not?
Why?
Could be an important plot point. You don't know.
Okay.
Why do you gotta
It's,
say
it's like
that?
the second or third time he's pointed out this specific painting.
It's only the second.
And now I'm getting creeped out.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Natural 20.
I burned my damn inspiration and got the nat 20 for it.
For a total of 25. It takes you a moment, seeing how you're long-lived and you're versed in most history. This specific region at times sort of comes and goes in a bit of a blur, considering most of it's probably actually somewhat recent history for elves. But you look at it, and you're pretty sure, and not even pretty sure, with a fact, an unyielding fact, that this is a portrait of Queen Bruthiel of Gondor, who was the queen of Gondor early in the Third Age, around mid 800s to 900s.
Earthiel?
Beruthiel. I will type that.
Tap time.
Tippity tappity typity. Hey, I spelled it right! Look at me go!
It's a call for inspiration.
Even with the exit mark.
I did not include it with the accent mark because I don't know. I don't know the keyboard shortcuts to do that.
Fair enough.
With a natural 20, though, and that total of 25, you find its placement here a little weird. Beruthiel was the wife of King Ternanan of Gondor, who seemingly made Pelargir his bastion, his home for a while. But the queen and the king had a bit of a falling out, and they separated during the reign for a while, and she ultimately left on a ship heading south.
Good to know.
So is Locke next to me now looking at this?
Sure.
And I'm going to verbally explain everything that I just observed about it, or I'll hold off till I'm downstairs with the entire group to share that knowledge. This isn't Mario.
Oh.
Well, that's very interesting.
Is it haunted?
Now that's the real question.
The eyes.
What about the odds?
They follow.
There's something that makes that equal parts hilarious and terrifying.
Just, oh my
I'll
god.
take
Just,
it.
they follow.
Especially when my voice went out at the very end.
Oh, that was good. That was more hilarious and frightening in my eyes.
Well, I have nothing better to do today, so you know what? I'll go take a closer look, just to see if there's anything off about it. Maybe there's a secret hideaway behind the wall that people would spy on passerbys.
With your luck, it's going to be the litter box, no worries.
As you guys are gathered around the painting and having this conversation, Dorsey from downstairs, rounds a corner, carrying a silver platter. Oh, good morning! Admiring the artwork, are we?
Ah, yes, indeed. Good morning, Dorsey. The Fig was remarking upon the eyes and how they seem to follow. How you? Not you
Fancy.
specifically, but just the general you.
Oh, common occurrence with paintings of that sort, from my understanding, but
You mean
I
paintings
haven't
of
paid
that
too much
sort?
attention. Just the portraits. A bit of an
Now-
optical illusion, I believe.
Did you say this was here when you acquired the
One of those
place,
3D
Dorsey?
paintings.
No, I acquired it at a market some time ago.
Ah,
Out of curiosity, do you understand the historical significance of this particular piece?
Not in particular. I thought it just looked nice in the foyer here.
I give a high-level overview of what it was I know about it.
Well, that is fascinating. What are the chances of coming across in that? I bet it's worth more than what I paid for it. Can I interest you all in some morning tea?
yes, of course.
With a side of morning ale.
We have no ale here, sir.
Ah, heartbreak. Tea it is.
That's in tea. You must learn to deal with it.
As-
Malvhor, do you still
Yeah.
inspect it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give
Okay,
it. I'm
good.
gonna give it a close once over since I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
He said one thing about the painting, and now all of us are like,
Yeah, it's all it takes to derail you guys.
I have a +7, and I got a 13.
13.
Not par.
I mean,
Better
using
than
a
an
bit
8.
of- Using a bit of the distraction of everyone continuing downstairs and Dorsey getting tea ready, you quickly look it over and you move the frame to the side a bit and sort of look behind it. Nothing of any interest. Seems like a solid wall. Nothing notable.
It's just a painting, and I move on.
And then the eyes follow you. Anyway.
yes. Fig's gonna stare at it for like 2 more seconds and then let it go.
So
Fig at some point just
Next time.
Dorsey places the tray down on a small table for you all and sets out 4 cups and begins pouring some hot water, and then places some tea infusers. There you have. Please enjoy as much as you like. I'll leave the kettle here. If you have need of me, please let me know. As he claps and all the cats come scurrying down. I have other guests to attend to.
other guests.
These ones.
Oh, I thought someone new was staying. My interest
Oh,
was.
you were impressively dense some days.
I'm not expecting anyone, at least today, short of anyone just showing up.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. We just showed up,
And I am grateful for it.
and I'm grateful that you're having us. Thank you for the food.
You're all welcome.
I kind of lean over to Dorsey. If you can find anything that can put him into a deeper sleep at night so he snores a little less, I'm sure the cats would appreciate it as well.
There's a few leaves that I have out back that might help.
Gonna-
I'll take a look.
Appreciate
It's
it.
gonna fucking poison me.
Every night from now on.
and Dorsey turned out to be the real villain of this story.
Every night from now on, Malvhor is going to make a con save when he goes to bed.
I love it.
If not, you just sleep really well.
The eternal sleep.
So,
Yeah, you guys
did everyone
your,
have a fulfilling day yesterday then?
You could say that.
Yes.
Feel more attuned to my craft.
I did find some information we may want to act on soon.
Oh, and that is?
Potentially, there's a new ranger in town.
And that's concerns us how?
Well, they're not really seeing too much around here, and this one just kind of like struck a nerve a little bit with some of the patrons at the tavern I went to recently.
Is there money somewhere involved in this business with the ranger?
I don't know, but I heard of another one known as the Hellion, and I'm saying this in a whispered tone too, like this
Ow.
part.
That's a scary name.
That's what I thought.
It's good. I bet they give Fig a run for her money.
I don't need the money.
Galita.
I'll take it though. I'm broke.
Regardless,
I just watched both Matt and Nick do the same turn away. I'm just like, oh my god. That made me happy.
regardless of the money that's involved, this guy sounds a little bit more like myth than actual facts.
Well, anyone scrounge up any hired leads on jobs?
Nothing directly. I'm assuming you didn't either, nor did you have the most successful of days considering you returned to your bed this evening.
Listen, it's been 10 years. You can't just immediately pick up where you left off.
Oh, that attitude.
Cirion's gonna whisper as like right before you drink some tea, unless your game's weak.
It's an art form.
Yes, it is. One that some of us have been perfecting for centuries.
I'm gonna look at Locke and joke. Some of us haven't lived centuries.
Well, give me a little bit more time and I'll have a century under my belt.
Yeah, that just sounds like a disadvantage of your birth. It's not my fault.
Ah.
There's many disadvantages to my birth.
Not as many as his.
So, what's the game plan for today, then?
Well, I want to find more information on this Hellion or even a new ranger. Want to make sure there's no real threat we need to be aware of.
I mean, we could pursue that. Might not be a bad idea. We also are supposed to be laying low.
Well, we can do it while we're laying low. I'm not saying we're going to go out and announce our names and hope he shows up.
That's a great idea. We should all come up.
I was about to say a few minutes later. Hey,
we should
it's the
all
fellowship.
come up with.
Hey,
Right now, we should all come up with aliases.
this ranger's a bitch boy. Actually, having aliases in this town is probably not a bad idea.
Exactly. Only a few people know our real names: Dorsey and Goldwyn, and everyone else we can give fake names to.
All right. Well, alias come off top of my head. I like the name Mason.
I think Vidar fits you more.
Vidar. A little too rough and tough.
I hate it here.
Oh, come on. I thought that'd be a fun Easter egg. Fuck y'all.
I don't have one!
Well, go Easter egg hunting then, bitch.
Call me. Let's
Don't
see.
kill me, Nick. I didn't mean it. I snapped.
Remember, it's not me that you need to worry about.
I mean, do we want to come up with aliases?
I just see a pair of red eyes with curly hair right behind you,
Is
just
this something-
in the dark shadow.
Is this something we're interested in, or do we want to? Do we just want
I'm
to?
interested in it at least. I can't speak
What
for
is
everybody.
this in question? The
Coming up
pursuing
with-
of the ranger?
Coming up with aliases to use for the time to help us lay low.
Makes sense to me.
The other route we could take is we could try to make a good name for ourselves in the city which goes against laying low, but we might be able to pull some more influence if things go south.
I think with everything going on and the current bounty on our heads, I think the last thing we want is to be known. Right now,
Very well.
anyway. Again, you two, any thoughts? I mean, if we're having the potential of being hunted, especially by a ranger and another infamous one, I'd rather not draw that much attention to ourselves and knowing who we are and where we are.
Aliases make sense.
Okay.
Very well.
I have different names already, so what is another one?
I'm just gonna kind of like glance at Fig and be like, other names.
Back home, I have an elven name.
Ah, are we allowed to know it?
Oh, it has been a while. Let me double check.
Gearing up for a lore drop and has to double check the notes.
Because I'm trying to do something very, very specific. Oh.
I know, Max, you're a tough puppy.
Aaron Randale, or Aaron for short.
Aaron, I like it.
All right. So that's what you want your alias to be. It can be Aaron.
It
I could
does
be-
not matter to me.
Well, you think of it, let us know. I think I'll go with Mathan while we're in town. Fuck off, it's good. Leave me alone. It's a fucking Easter egg. God. Let me...
I
My
think
character, let me do what I want.
I think I'm gonna go with Gomir.
At this point, in the middle of this, Dorsey comes over and sort of swaps out the tea kettle, and as he does, and places it on another platter. Hushed whispers? Are we talking gossip? I would love to know.
What are the names of your cats?
The names of my cats.
Yes,
Oh, that'd be
Which ones in particular?
all of them.
All of them. Oh, let's see. There's Faina, Xanthi, Praitha.
Oh gosh.
Down.
Dana.
Nibs, Kip,
Xanthi.
Gear, Darian, Leia, Zaltana,
Matt's writing everyone down.
Miriam,
There has to be like a Mr. Snuggles somewhere.
and
Please.
Serpentine. I believe that's all.
What was the third name you gave?
Don't worry about it. Check the VOD.
Exactly.
Check the VOD.
It's like, quick,
What about,
Matt, what's your timestamp?
What about never mind. Those are excellent names. Dorsey. In fact, I'm quite particular to Xanthi.
Yes, she's a little rambunctious one, but I like to think they all named themselves. Sort of came with the names, if you will. But we couldn't have been hush-whispered discussing cat names over here, could we? That'd be the dullest gossip of the day.
It would be the dullest gossip. The gossip that we were discussing is yesterday we heard rumors of a figure known as the Hellion, spoken in hushed whispers.
Oh, huh?
Do you know this Hellion?
I haven't heard her in some time, but yeah, she's come through here.
Her.
In what aspect were they referencing?
that almost like a myth. She is almost like a mythological figure.
I wouldn't go that far, but many haven't seen her, merely heard of her.
Have you seen
At
her?
least so go the rumors. I personally have not, no.
What are some
Any
of the
chance we
rumors
could
you
find
know?
out more?
What was that?
You go first, kid.
Any chance you could tell us where we could find out more?
Oh, I hardly dabble in that area of expertise.
Nah, I just have a natural curiosity. I like urban myths.
I would think that tea is your speciality.
It is my specialty, and I see what you're doing there, but that does give me to another topic at hand. I'm running low. I'm running low on a particular leaf, and I have important guests arriving in the following week, and I need to replenish this. Would the four of you be able to spare some time?
Yeah. I don't see why not. Where will we find this leaf?
It's about a 3 days ride from here upriver. No, sorry. 3 days walk, not 3 days ride.
I was
That
gonna
makes
say
it
that's
sound a lot
fire,
further.
Dorsey. You're really importing
far.
your tea leaves here.
It's this particular kind of leaf. I import them from all over. This one's a little bit more local.
Do you have a physical description of it?
Or do you have some on hand?
Ah, excellent.
Unfortunately, I'm out. Otherwise, this wouldn't be the problem. It's a long, thin leaf that sides a little darker orange coloration. Grows low to the ground.
Have I ever seen it before? Out of curiosity, like just while doing big things out and about.
Give me a nature check.
Exploring.
What'd you roll?
An 8.
You probably have, but it's not one of those things you sort of make note of.
Okay. Not even like if you said never mind. Continue.
And what is this particular leaf called?
Ooh, excellent question, Locke.
Honestly, I don't know. I just sort of gather it and turn it into tea.
Wait.
I'm not an herbalist. What of it?
It's fair.
Are you the only place in town that brews this type of tea?
Interesting question. I haven't really gone out of my way to research.
Because if you are, that's a huge marketing aspect. You got that market cornered. Could really pull in the numbers with that.
He sort of looks around in the emptiness that is the state of the parlor. Yes, really in demand.
We got to work on your marketing.
Well, if you want to handle that, I'll leave it up to you. But you can find this particular leaf up north, where the Stirth meets the river Selos, and the river. Oh no, sorry. Yep, where that river meets the river Selos.
Excellent. We should be able to track down your leaves. A specific amount you want us to bring? Just a bunch? Just a shit ton?
Preferably as much as you can carry. Whatever you can find.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I think we can do this. What about the rest of you, squad?
It's just more continuation of my own previous work. Sounds like a fair enough job.
Yeah, you were doing this for Manayame. Something similar, right?
Correct.
Perfect. Right up our alley. See, we've done jobs like this before. Dorsey, don't fret. We'll have your tea leaves for you.
I trust that you will. Like I said, the it's not needed for another week, but 3 days journey there, 3 days journey back might put you right around the time I've been requiring of it. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, we should leave promptly.
We should leave.
Such a quick
keep
wit
him
on you,
around.
kid.
I have my moments.
927.
What are you counting?
Number of times I've had these specific jokes.
Yeah, being as long-lived as you are, you've probably heard a lot of jokes.
None nearly as hilarious as the name Malvhor, though.
You make me choke on my tea there, Locke. With such venom.
One step closer to the grave. Every moment.
Well,
Well, I will let you finish your tea for the morning, and I look forward to your return. And if you need anything before you leave, just let me know.
we'll do, Dorsey.
Appreciate it.
So, what are we gonna do about food on this 6-day journey?
We have a hunter.
I have 7 rations.
I think I have none or one. I have none.
I think I have like 2.
I can split
So-
some. I'm happy to share some to try to even it out among everybody, and then, yeah.
And then supplement the
And
wet rest
hunting.
with hunting? Do you think you'll be able to find game out here?
I fucking
Actually-
better.
Actually, I think I have 0 rations after our prison break.
Well, we got more after,
Oh,
like from Ashlyn and stuff with her little
of
hideout
which.
that we took a long rest in.
oh,
Where has
okay.
Ashlyn been?
She's
She
gone.
left.
Oh, she went ahead and moved
Yeah.
on.
Yep,
Yeah.
she moved on like the
She
first night.
totally- She
What
totally
does
dumped
she?
us.
Oh my
I
god.
wasn't here and I didn't get that far in the VOD.
Yeah.
No,
Wasn't-
you
that was
you guys woke in the barn the next morning, and the first thing you noticed is that she was missing.
Oh.
So,
She's the hellion.
Well, if she's the hellion, then we're fine.
No, then we're fucked.
No, because we're friends with her. We're friends with her. She won't do anything to us.
Oh, you're friends with Ashlyn. You're not friends with the Hellion.
Potatoes, potatoes. Dude,
that's not flawed logic.
I'm with Nick on that.
potatoes, potatoes. Stick them in the stew.
Anyways, who I can give away 3 rations. Who needs, or I can give away more. Who needs what?
How about this? We go ahead. I have no rations, but I'm gonna take some time today. Gonna see what I can scrounge up before our trip. Let's shoot to leave from Goldwyn's ranch midday. Does that sound good?
Fine.
Fine by me. Good luck begging with her.
I mean, her ranch is outside of town. A great place to meet up and leave from and come to.
Great place to meet. Great place for you to beg for food.
A great place to say my farewells for 6 days.
How's
And
the child?
and beg for food. What was that? I missed that. What did you say?
Never mind.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The bastard?
Something
great,
something I said last stream.
Anyway, I'll see you all midday at Goldwyn's house. Peace. And it's getting awkward. He's gonna leave.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to love reveling in this for years to come. Assuming he lives that long.
So Malvhor quickly downs what's left of his tea, and as he's standing up and like placing it down, he's just saying goodbye, all right, see you later, and just goes out the door. He's heading for.
I'm going to
Goldwyn's
Goldwyn's right
place.
away.
What are the rest of you doing?
Oh,
I
man,
am
don't
going to
know.
beg for food. Locke read me for filth.
I know I did.
I'm going to.
I'm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lindsay.
No. I'm kind of more or less seeing what everyone else is doing. Otherwise, I'm open for changing my idea. Go ahead.
I was gonna see if I can get any more information on the Ranger or the Hellion somewhere.
Okay. You trying to like eavesdrop on conversations, or are you gonna go asking about it?
I'm gonna go asking about it.
Where would you like to go ask about it?
I think I'm gonna go back to Aram and see if there's any like articles or any bit of information regarding the Hellion first, because that's just a little bit more where my curiosity is.
Okay. All right. So
I figured, I figured a myth like that would have like stories and articles written about them and give me any idea of who she is.
So Cirion gets up and heads out for the Hall of Lore. Two of you, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to.
Any?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was probably either going to follow both of you or at least Locke, because I was actually gonna wait to start conversation while strolling.
Okay.
I was gonna say I think I'm gonna follow Cirion because I actually want to visit the House of Lore anyways.
That'll work. Let's all go find books.
Except
The thing that
Malvhor.
Your second worst enemy.
She's just not that well versed.
How many
That's
sessions until
all.
Fig kills somebody with a book?
Oh! Done. Let me write that down.
The first fight we get into Pelargir, like she's gonna kill somebody with a book.
She has a history of she has the entire histories of Rivendell.
She's gonna John Wick him.
I was gonna, somehow she doesn't have her axe or shield on hand, and someone tosses her a book, and she just catches it and goes, well, bam!
So the three of you head out from the parlor shortly after.
The Hellion's gonna assassinate me because I'm alone.
After
Let's
Malvhor.
go.
You guys head on the other side of the market and over across the bridge into the middle island and head for the Hall of Lore. You walk into the sort of dimly lit stone structure, and you see a short individual walking, rounding the corner, sort of wiping glasses on his robe, puts the glasses back on. Oh! Cirion, right?
Yes, good memory.
Oh no, you gave your name, your real name out to other people. Aliases won't work.
Just
Yeah, I kind of got me the job here. Good memory, good writing, that whole thing. What can I do for you?
so to see if you had anything on the character called the Hellion?
Character? Is it a
Myth? Local myth around here.
myth? Urban legend?
I think more of a myth around here. Yeah.
Maybe? Hard to say. If it's an urban legend, then it might be kept more in, like, the stories we, been passed down through generations. Let me go take a look real quick.
Thanks.
Heads off down the hall. Several minutes pass.
Locke.
Yes?
For both of you, do you know of the name Maiar?
Do I?
Give me lore checks. Locke, you can give it at advantage.
There.
I meant to do this while walking, but we got here very quickly.
Okay.
Hey.
Sorry. 1 second. There we go.
Ooh, the double 15.
Wow, I actually beat Locke at something.
I only have the exact same plus modifier to it.
Yeah.
Sad is that I got the same 2 rolls in a row.
Yeah, the two of you have heard of Maiar in terms of, like, the history and lore of Middle-earth. Essentially beings from Valinor that are lesser to the Valar, but are not quite creatures of creation like the elves were and the dwarves and the men.
I've heard of them.
One
That's have I.
of them is who I met while in the forest, while you were in jail. I believe. I was able to find a little more about the voice and who I met yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Can you share?
oh, well,
Any identifying anything? Beyond Maya?
I saw the one what?
As I say, for what it's worth, for the two of you with the knowledge of Maiar, if you were having this conversation over tea, this would have been fully worth a spit take. This is insane to hear. A Maiar in Middle-earth. There hasn't been one in these lands since Sauron fell. Sauron was
Okay,
sort of
well
like the
then
last...
rewind.
Yeah, Sauron was sort
Yeah.
of like the last Maiar to be known in Middle-earth.
Isn't
Maya?
Gandalf a Maiar? Just that's
Yeah.
more from my knowledge.
All the wizards are, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Are the eagles my eye? Questions for another time.
Never know. So, okay, rewinding that when she has like, I'm sorry, you're asking about the Maiar.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you said it right.
Said
I
it
kind of
very
look at
right.
Locke. Yeah, I kind of like glance at Locke like, no, you said it right. Just not a common thing anymore, or at all.
Oh, the
Last Maya seen on middle. Would we know that the last Maya was Sauron in this case? That is known, at least. Brian?
I'm thinking.
He's thinking.
Locke, go ahead and give me just a history check.
We have the advantage.
Any chance I can too, because we both know about this, or no?
I'm making a story point that Locke is the only one here that has a chance to know about it.
Okay. It makes sense. I was just curious.
3
Yeah.
rolls, all I'm saying.
hey,
15.
15 likes me today.
better than
So-
5.
You haven't come across any, but whispers in Imladris and even in Lothlorien through parts of your travels, you have overheard whispers of a handful of Maiar visiting Middle-earth in recent history. At least recent history for the elves, which would have been in the last 1,000 years.
I'd say the last millennia.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, I have heard of a hand of my travels that have visited the elves and other parts of Middle-earth.
Do you know of Awendal?
Not by name.
No, sadly I do not.
Great, where are you? Brown Road? I almost said gray, and I'm like, nope, wrong one. Oh.
Do I know anything about any other details at all about the Maiar with what I have? Or is it just that there's a handful of them visiting?
There's a handful, and unfortunately, you just haven't been privy to those sort of audiences to know anymore currently.
Background, you failed me again.
I know
Level
they
4.
are acquainted with the voice and music I hear. So
Interesting.
now I'm Now I'm trying to see who the voice is.
I shall certainly keep my ears out.
Yeah. They,
At this point, Aram comes back with seemingly empty-handed. Sorry, I don't have anything on... Nothing big on the Hellion, but I did find this. And he hands over a piece of parchment that looks to be a rough sketch of like a profile of somebody, where they appear to be wearing a hood and sort of like cuts off half their face, and you see like long strands of hair that sort of whip past it, and you don't get any of the eyes or any of the hide features beyond sort of the nose poking out and the chin and the jawline. It's very sort of the first sketch of Oliver Queen in the Arrow.
I was gonna say it's like the next Assassin's Creed, Middle Earth.
It's very sort of the hood sort of sketch, but you do see writing at the bottom of the parchment that just essentially says "Wanted, the Hellion." It appears to be some wanted poster that we had up for some period of time. That's all I got.
How long ago was this, Aaron?
There's no date on it. It's hard for me to say.
Rough
For all I
estimate?
know, if it was in the if it was in our urban legends and stories section, this could just be a prop, some joke.
Can I like judge by the age of like the parchment of how old? Like, is it like rotten teeth yellow, or is it like just some yellow spots? Is there a way to see like roughly if it's
Go ahead and give me an
super
investigation check.
oh goody? That's a piece of paper, all right.
It's hard to say. It's been cooped up in here and sort of probably pressed against so many other pieces of parchment and leather tomes that it's sort of worn unnaturally, and it's really hard to get a feel for what its age might actually be.
Okay.
I'll keep an ear out though.
Stupid question.
No
Is
such
it
thing.
Yes, there is. Is it colored?
No, it's almost like a charcoal sketch of a singular black color.
And it just says wanted. Is there like a price or a bounty for them?
There appears there might have been more writing at one point, but it's been either smudged away or the pieces of the parchments have been ripped and torn.
Okay, so I mean that alone tells me it's pretty old. Okay. I'm just gonna look at that and go. If you hear anything, let me know. But this better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, sorry, it's all we got, at least for as far as urban legends go.
That's okay. Anywhere you may know where we could find more?
Oh, jeez.
Or any person may know? You see a lot of people come through here. You must hear a lot of things.
I'm familiar with a lot of scholars, and not a whole lot of them have come in here researching for anyone known as the Hellion. If this is a work of fiction or a myth, I would honestly try and find a bard.
So Cirion gives a chuckle. It's like, I
Bard
travel
thing?
with one.
Yeah, bard or a troubadour that might know the story or something. See if it's real. But of course, they're gonna embellish, so I'd take everything with a grain of salt.
Oh yes, they do like to embellish, especially when they get the loot out. Or whatever
Speaking
Malvhor
of
carries.
embellish,
Malvhor doesn't have an inch anymore because the guards at Ascilius took it from him.
Okay, well whatever you had before.
It was like a cello or something.
Okay, then.
Cello.
like a cello.
With a cello.
I remember it was large and stringed. I don't remember its name because I deleted it from my inventory.
Omp, omp.
Cellos, but I
He
hate
was a
hearing
classy
them.
ass bard.
Oh, can I help you guys with anything else?
I'm
You,
just gonna kind of like turn away. You two.
you have anything historical for my people?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's not a good
Just
sign.
simply because I know he said that if you have anything, he would be the one to ask.
Are you looking for anything in particular? We got a lot of records from Numenor.
Smithing
Which might-
practices, perhaps.
Smithing practices. I'll tell you what, if you give me some time, I might be able to scrounge some stuff up.
Yeah.
Not my
Which
area
would
of
be greatly
expertise,
appreciated.
but I know where to find it, and I might know a guy.
I would greatly appreciate it.
All right, I'll get right on that. He just pulls out a piece of parchment and a quill. Let me just make a note here. What's your name? So I know, if I'm not here and if you come looking for your info.
Of course. The name is Rock.
What?
Is that with an
Did you say
E?
rock?
Rog. R-O-G.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
I was like, did you
Good to
just
know.
change the first letter of your name?
Oh, not Rock.
Rock lobster. All right, so he makes a note and stuffs it away. I'll get right on that. But if I find anything, I'll leave it with an attendant if by chance you come here and I'm not here.
Safe travels, sir. Thank you.
You as well. Malvhor.
Hey, yeah, that's me.
Just
Head
one
over
knows my name, I guess.
I don't think Aram ever asked for my name.
Nope.
I don't remember giving it.
Did you ask him for anything?
Aaron must
No,
die.
I mean last session.
Oh, you weren't there long enough. I
For him
sort
to
of
care.
took the fact that how he sort of researched in tandem with Cirion for a
yeah.
length period of time.
Fig is just gliding by with these social interactions, and no one is caring about who she is, so she doesn't get caught ever.
Just a large, scary woman in the corner.
Yeah. She doesn't need an alias. She's just. I need to change her appearance, not my alias.
Real quick, are the three of you heading from the Hall of Lore to Goldwyn's then? Or you have
Yeah,
other things you're
I
doing?
don't see why not.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to find a bard, but we're not wasting any more time.
Malvhor, you show up at Goldwyn's homestead. You're sort of coming down the dirt road, and you can see her out in the pasture with a couple of the horses. But she sort of acknowledges you as you walk down the road and sort of waves.
Yeah, I go straight to her. Good morning,
She's
Goldwyn.
petting one of the horses. Well, good morning, Malvhor. What brings you here so early?
How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Busy as ever.
Yeah, it seems like. I mean, it's a big responsibility what you have. I wanted to.
Is?
Well, some easy work has fallen into our laps, and it's something we can't really say no to. The proprietor of the Parlor, Dorsey, needs us to gather some tea leaves from him. It's part of our arrangement in staying there, is that we help him out from here to there. But it does require us to travel 3 days out from town. So I'll be gone for a short stint, but I'll be back.
Well, that sounds simple enough. I hope your travels are safe, of course.
It does. I don't expect there to be too much trouble. I mean, we're just going to pick some tea leaves. But we'll see how it plays out.
Well, it looks like I'm going to be all by my lonesome again for a day.
Is Laura? Does Laura have business elsewhere?
Laura and Merwin left this morning. Laura insisted on taking her along to teach her to hunt, so I'm sure they'll be gone for a day or so.
How's the hunting going?
Oh, it's fine. The days she, finds some, days she doesn't. She's still getting a feel for it, but I don't have much of a place to talk because that's not what I do. I tend to the horses.
Do you think any of that sense of adventure is going to rub off from Laura?
Probably not for several decades at least.
Children can have wild imaginations.
Children. Laura's 30.
Well, but the kid she's taking hunting.
Oh. What about her imagination?
Yeah, the children's imaginations just want to run wild.
Ah,
They're immense
I'm
and unknowable.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. Is there anything you needed from me before you head out?
I would. I'm actually very broke. And so
I see.
I have no I mean, I have no traveling rations to speak of, so anything you could spare would be much appreciated.
I will see what I can scrounge up. Is that all you require? You and your party?
Yeah, and you know what? I would I'd like to spend some more time with you this morning before we depart. They're off at the Hall of Lore. That'll take them some time, so I'll help you around. I really enjoyed spending time with you yesterday, and I've got some time to kill, so I can help you around before we depart this morning.
Sure, you can help me out and get a few of these ones here saddle trained, or at least getting used to it. Hopefully soon enough they'll be able to roam outside of this pasture, or at least get into the stables.
You're looking forward to me getting bucked off again, aren't you?
Well, if you would listen to my lessons, you wouldn't get bucked off at all.
But you laugh. You laugh so much when it happens.
Well, it is quite the treat.
And you do have such a wonderful laugh.
It's almost just so shocking that you get under the skin of every horse that bucks you. I haven't come across the one that's actually liked you.
It is interesting because I have a knack for getting under people's skin too.
I know.
Locke really lets me have it. First thing in the morning, his words contain venom, but it's all in friendship, I imagine, at least.
Well, I hope so. I hope you wouldn't keep company with those who meant ill intent towards you. Give me a few minutes. Let me go see what I can scrounge up from the kitchen.
Of course.
She walks away, goes into the homestead.
I'm just going to try and connect with the horse.
Which horse?
The one she was petting.
I was gonna say, there's about 6 of them around you. You reach out to like a white horse with brown spots. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check. You do have advantage from your patron,
Okay.
I believe.
I'd have to double check, but if you say I have advantage, I'll accept.
Nope, sorry, you're considered proficient.
Oh, okay.
Big difference.
It helps.
Helps by 1. Which is weird. I thought, because I have Jack of all trades. Not terrible.
So 12. 12.
11. The proficiency's included in that.
Oh, okay. It puts its head down and sort of like is grazing from the grass, and you just gently, slowly place your hand on it. It doesn't initially seem to mind you. She comes back out. Okay, I have a few loaves of bread that might get you through the day, or maybe 2 if you're lucky.
Ah, perfect. And look, I think this one likes me.
No, that is one of the more docile ones, so that's a good one to practice on. As she walks up to it and sort of scratches at the mane. Isn't that right, noble heart?
I'm writing that down. Noble Heart. That's an interesting name. Where did that one come from?
Honestly, after a while, I just sort of pick what comes to mind.
That's a fair way. So naming is almost an art.
It can be.
There's stories to names. They invoke feelings, images.
I imagine, yes, they can. If they're picked with purpose.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna try something,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna say, just leaning into that topic of discussion, I'm just gonna say. So what's the meaning behind the name Malwyn?
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, here we go. Big money, no whammies. Should I
15.
Should I inspiration that? Because it could be better. That is a 6.
No.
Chances are
do
it's
it.
gonna be better.
I say no.
If you got it, use it. If you got it,
Inspiration, my guy.
use it. 18.
18.
I was so tense re-rolling that.
I would have laughed if it was a 14.
Well, do you see she sort of keeps focused on the horse that she's handling at the time, but you do catch for a beat that when the question gets uttered, she sort of freezes as she quickly thinks through some things and then continues about her business of brushing the horse. I struggled for days to name her. Ultimately, I landed on a name from my people, Aothid. It's the name of my great-grandmother, who did tend to me for some time in my younger years. When things felt unsure and sense of abandonment, it's what came to mind.
It's a good name.
Yes, so.
So, you ready to see me get bucked off a few times? Maybe.
Yes, let's get at it, shall we? Let's move this show along.
And then
In the next probably say for the next like 30 or so minutes, you guys work together. It's not much longer until the rest of your fellowship.
Y'all should have taken
shows
longer
up.
at the Hall of Law.
It was real quick questions. Wasn't a whole lot to do. It's more or less the time to get there and come back. And it's not the size of Osgiliath, so you get around pretty quickly. But you guys do arrive, and you do see Malvhor atop of a horse, with Goldwyn standing in the pasture holding the reins.
Oh, this should be brilliant. How far out are we from them?
Not terribly far. You're coming down the dirt road, sort of like parallel to like the fence of the pasture. So between you and him, probably about 60 feet.
Really loud, shrill. I can't do it for real to save my life, so.
Just
Whistle.
like a scream to spook it. Oh, okay,
No,
whistle.
the whistle.
Malvhor, give me a riding check.
Ooh.
Roll d20, add your proficiency and a strength or wisdom, your choice.
They are the same. 19! What?
19. The horse rears up and whinnies as it does, and you see Goldwyn try to keep the reins down and pull it back down to earth, and Malvhor just holds onto the saddle and almost leans and falls off until the horse comes back down. You stay on.
I didn't get bucked off that time, Goldwyn. Did you see that?
Oh, finally, you're improving.
An old dog can learn new tricks.
Give it another 10 years, you'll be a master rider.
Oh, only under your tutelage.
Well, I trust that the three of you are here, that you're looking to depart.
Yes, it appears my compatriots have arrived.
Oh, you say that with such glumness, my friend.
Only because it means I must depart.
How far is your journey from here?
3 days walk.
Not terrible. And where you're heading upriver?
Yes, we're meeting at the fork of the Firth and Salos.
Ah, okay. Well, be careful. It's actually quite tame an area, but there are some wild boars out there that might get jumpy.
I appreciate the warning, and if we do come across a boar, it'll be that boar's mistake.
Well, you best be off if you have nothing else that you need of me before you all depart. And to clarify, she gave you 2 days of rations.
Okay, I was going to clarify
That
that
she
after
could.
the scene.
Yeah, that she could scrounge up.
See, I begged for food, it worked out fine.
Lucky she has Stockholm syndrome.
Oh no. Don't say that.
Well, if there's nothing else you need of me, then I wish you luck, and I look forward to your return in a week's time.
I look forward.
Question for you, just before we leave, Goldwyn.
Aye.
How familiar are you with the plant life around this area?
Oh, not terribly. I think Laura would probably know more. I only know what to feed my horses.
Is she
And
around
myself.
right now, perchance?
No, Laura took Merwin yesterday morning off on a hunt. I suspect they'll be back probably either tomorrow evening or the following morning.
Understood. I was just looking for a little bit of extra information. No problem.
You might come across her. They did head north, so if you do, I'd suggest asking. She might be able to help you.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, I have some training to do, and I must attend to the stables as well when I do get the chance, so good luck, and I wish you a safe journey.
Until we meet again in a week's time.
Why not make it 10 years this time?
Damn.
Just daggers at Locke.
And that's how a 3-day journey turned into 10 years.
And
That's
that's
a
how my
hell of a
father
fellowship
went
phase.
to go get milk.
All right.
I'm just gonna go out and
Roll
get some tea. I'll be back.
Guide.
Not me.
Is that what I've been doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless,
I'll
do you
do it.
not want to anymore, or do you want to do something else?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Look
It's
out.
because it's
Oh,
like that and Lookout are the 2 things I'd be decent at. So.
Not me.
I've been lookout, right? I think I'll continue doing such.
I believe
Alright.
so.
Scout.
I think that this has to be me. I think I have no choice. I don't fit in
Especially
any
since
of
we don't
these
have
roles.
Ashlyn now.
Hunter is left to Fig.
It
Then.
leaves to me. It doesn't
Oh.
work this time. I quit.
You and I can
All
switch
right.
if it doesn't work this time.
All right, Locke. Based on your guys' destination, what route are you going to be taking? You essentially just going to follow north of the river.
Yes.
Just for call out, the mouth of the river that Dorsey was referring to is right here.
Ooh.
Did that show up?
Yeah.
Yeah, circle.
Okay. Yep. So.
Yes.
I had to zoom in a lot.
You
Yeah.
kind of always need to be zoomed in on this map because
Yeah.
we're in a very specific
Yeah.
region. Okay. So you're just gonna sort of follow up that river. Okay. Go ahead and give me an embarkation roll.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's the worst I've done to point.
Well, that should be fun.
6.
Yep.
All right.
The hellion descends upon us.
Oh, come here, boy.
You guys trek out for a relatively short journey. Definitely shorter than the one coming here. And you leave behind Pelargir and Goldwyn's homestead and head up a similar trail, a very familiar trail that the one you took to get here. And eventually it sort of skews off and heads a bit more of a northwesternly direction as it heads more towards the river. And you begin to follow that winding embankment heading in a northerly direction where you can almost see the White Mountains in the distance. And that's where we're going to take a break. On the road again.
Oh boy.
Oh
I
boy.
absolutely can wait to get back on the road again.
Hail, adventurer. Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich. Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball. Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next ttrpg session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Plate Mail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. Hail, adventurer. Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich. Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball. Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next ttrpg session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Platemail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers.
ever put Battle Bards back up?
Oh, don't you fucking ask me that question.
It's been up.
Yeah.
I'm saying because I never rejoined. It's fully my own
Okay.
fault.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
can
there's
still
been
hear-
sound on the BattleBots have been on stream.
okay.
I
whole
heard
session.
Brian ready to kill somebody.
I have rain going right now.
Yes, I hear rain.
Yes.
Okay.
I just thought of the energy drink and I was like, dear God, you are
Whoa.
not sleeping tonight.
Oh yeah,
Right.
rain. Like, whoa, fuck.
We're good.
Yes,
Sorry.
Super
Oh
Saiyan.
lordy.
My fault for
Alright,
not
we're
getting
back.
back into it after I closed it.
No. It's
All
it's
good,
the
all
way
good.
the question
having
got
issues.
thrown up there because I didn't check everyone, so I assumed you were in there.
All good.
Okay. All right. So, let's get right back into it as you all trek out north of Pelargir and get along the river and begin trekking north as the day sort of wears on and eventually turns into night. And the next day comes and you're greeted with rain. A gray, gloomy outlook on the day, soaking you to the bone and making your efforts all that more troublesome. You progress over the course of the day of keeping an eye out for, things that you're looking for. The tea leaves, maybe you'll find it early and don't have to trek near as far as you once hoped. Fig, go ahead and give me a survival check for hunting.
Oh, goody. You just know
Believe
I'm
in
gonna
you.
ask every day.
Natural 20. Natural 20.
I'm going
Natural
to
1.
Wait, so before I don't know if this will help or not, but narratively speaking, at least, what she's gonna do, especially with the rain, she's going to. She might have done this once or twice before already. I just don't remember if she's ever done it. If I've
Okay.
said it before, but she's gonna like muddy herself to blend in better with surroundings.
I just see a
Okay,
predator scene
Schwarzenegger.
going on right now. Matt and I are in the same boat.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. She's just gonna blend and go more hunter mode and camouflage. Bop.
The
Natural
narrative.
20 for a total of 22.
Really?
Big is the predator.
So over the course, for a total of 22, initially,
And
yes, initially, it is a total of 22. Over the course of your guys' journey so far, with the rain and seemingly got off on the wrong foot after embarking from Pelargir, the food you find is scarce. The meals that you have are infrequent, and the ones that you do are able to consume that does sustain you for the most part, for the better part of your journey, tends to be either undercooked, overcooked, not very fulfilling. It's sustenance. It's not good.
Better than starving.
Everyone's skill checks for the course of this journey are at -1.
Ooh.
for my survival
I-
check?
No, from the embarkation roll.
Oh.
That's why I said 22 initially. So it's actually a 21. Fig is able to sustain you all, but it's not the... It's very difficult eatings. It's
Frog legs
scrounging.
again.
It's scrounging. It keeps you going. But there's just a little bit where sometimes you just feel a little sick, feel a little sluggish. And maybe it's the cause for what was found. Maybe it's the cause of the rains making it difficult to light a fire. You're not able to cook things properly. And even those of you that resort to rations seem to be stale and almost dry to the point where they almost break away like a Cliff Bar. It just disintegrates. So,
Look,
Yay,
I rolled really
natural
well
20!
for every other
No, that.
embarkation. There's gonna be a bad one eventually.
the chart changes every time, so...
That too.
But you guys press on from one day to the next, moving upriver to try and get to this to get where the rivers meet, where you could allegedly find this tea leaf that grows close to the ground with a dark orangish brown coloration. And of course, if anybody wants to do anything particular during this trek, just go ahead and interrupt me. As I look something
No
up.
interruptions here.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like we are
It sounds like a
happily
little
miserable right
bit-
now. So
Yeah.
Look out. Cirion,
Yes, sir.
go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's 9. Do I want to burn my inspiration? Opinions? Y'all are no fun.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Fuck it.
it's been working in our favor.
Oh!
19.
I was going to say it's been working in our favor so far with the fuck it's. So
19, and that
Story of my
greatly
career.
changed it. Probably about mid-afternoon of the second day of your journey. The sun is peeking out a bit through a bit of the rain clouds, and it's not a downpour by any means, but it is enough to keep you wet and a little bit miserable. What semblance of a trail you're following is muddied, which each step you just feel your feet going, just slogging through, just trying to keep it moving.
Sound like Squidward walking.
Pretty much. But around mid-afternoon of your second day, Cirion, you sort of jog on out ahead of everyone else, and you see through a clump of trees, sort of rounding a corner, an individual that seems to be pulling a small wagon of sorts. They appear to be drenched in, or wearing a long cloak and rags of sorts from where you are. They're heading down your direction of this path as they're just sort of moving, struggling through with this cart. What did you do?
How far away can they see me?
If they can, I mean, you can see them, so you can probably assume they can probably see you, especially if you're not actively hiding. But they haven't made any sort of indication that they've acknowledged you or actively seen you.
Then in that case, I'm actually going to move off to the side and kind of just... How far back is my party from me?
Looks like 15, 20 feet.
I'll kind of like move off and give like a hand up to like tell them to stop. We got someone coming down this way.
Do they look dangerous?
No, they're just pulling some kind of wagon.
not well from the looks of things.
I could go say hi and see what's going on.
If you want to risk it, could avoid them entirely. Don't know how much you like to make friends.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to them in their direction.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
I'll just kind of be like behind Malvhor, just like an unthreatening-ish kind of position, but my hand is kind of like just near my dagger on my belt.
Okay, so the two of you are going up? The other two are staying back?
Yes. I'm not speaking for the other two.
Reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I am, at
staying
least.
where you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Clarifying
off
so I
into the
know where
trees.
people are. Okay. Head off the trail. The two of you slog your way up the path towards this individual who's still yanking along on the wagon. They're slowly making through the mud and getting through it. As you sort of walk up, they look up and sort of acknowledge you, and you see a sort of dark brown hooded cloak that sort of extends down to the base of it, and underneath you see looks like a leather corselet of some sort. It's kind of hard to tell, and a leather belt sort of wrap around with a couple of bags off to the side. But after that, underneath the hood, you notice a sort of thick, sort of blackish gray beard underneath, and sort of weathered features of the face. The skin is lighter. It's definitely not sun-kissed like those that you've come across in like Pelargir, but they definitely look older, maybe in their late 40s, 50s or so.
Oh, they're my age.
As he looks up and acknowledge you, he stops and sort of lets his shoulders rest and lets the wagon sort of slump down. Hell.
I would say good day, but the day seems to be quite poor.
Yes. Definitely not the first time in this week.
You make this trip often?
No, unfortunately, I seemed a bit turned around. I was heading up northward at the word of a friend of mine. Was making for the city of Pelargir, but I believe I've overshot it. Am I on the right path?
So you were coming north looking for Pelargir?
I was indeed, and then I reached the epoch near Minas Anor. Minas Tirith now. They told me to head south, back the way I came, back down this path. I should. I'm awfully terrible with directions. Is this the correct path?
Yes, my friend. You were quite far off your trail, but if you keep going south the way we were coming from, just keep following the river. It leads right to Pelargir. Just keep the river to your left, and you should be fine.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Where are you coming from that you're coming north to Pelargir, if I may ask?
I came from Umbar.
Umbar. How is Umbar this time of year?
Hot, mostly. But the sea breeze does the face good.
Are you a merchant, or you're traveling for personal reasons?
Give me a persuasion check.
I feel like I'm giving this guy the shakedown.
Yeah. Random dude. What are you? The highwayman? The patrol?
24.
24.
I'm just trying to be friendly.
No, 23 because of
23,
my
you're right.
Yep, good call.
23 is a better number anyway.
If I can't have my nat 20.
You had the natural 20.
It's still a natural
it just
20.
Reduced the modifier by 1. The natural 20 stuck.
That's why we were sustained.
I'm a merchant. Yes, I travel in lightly from what I do find in down south and along the coastlines, and head up north where I can, sort of where they're friendly towards someone coming up from that far south, and try to scrap together a few coin.
Oh, what do you sell? I might be interested.
Oh, what sort of coin do you have on you?
Enough.
Persuasion check. Deception check, sorry, deception check.
I was gonna say enough is really the vague. 17.
16.
16. Good catch. You're gonna have to catch me every time.
We're gonna have to catch everybody. A -1's a real random thing to keep in mind of. All sorts of random knickknacks and trinkets. Is there anything particular you're looking for?
Nothing in particular. It just seems fate had drawn our paths together, so my interest was piqued. However, if you're going to be in Pelargir, we eventually someday will return there. If this rain does not flood us all off the face of Middle Earth. And if you're still around, might swing by. If we find you, might be interested in purchasing then.
Well, we shall see. And fated. You've big ideas in your head, I see.
No other way to live. You gotta live big. The whole world is a story. Your life is a story. Never forget that.
Boring one, but I see your point. Well, unless there's something you wish to purchase, as he hefts the wagon, well, keep moving this wagon on down south then. Perhaps I will find you in Pelargir.
Perhaps our paths will cross again in Pelargir, and if they do, then we will truly know we are drawn together by fate.
Ah,
Deep.
and in fact, if I would be so bold, since you were so kind to point me in the right direction, if I was to find you in Pelargir, what's your name?
My name is Gomir.
Gomir. Deception check.
Wait, did Locke have to make a deception check earlier? Oh my gosh!
9. He reaches out a hand to, like, shake yours.
I reach out to shake his. And,
He-
might I have
Go
the
ahead.
pleasure of your name as well?
More.
More. Pleasure to
He
meet you, More.
Grips your hand, and you feel like a leathery, almost skin-like texture to the hand, heavily calloused of sorts, and his grip is almost painful to the point where it's a really almost vice grip, and he shakes your hand. It's good to meet you, Grondir, as he sort of winks and picks up the wagon and continues to trek on through the mud.
I just turn to Cirion, and I just whisper, I'm like, he did not buy that at all. Do you see that wink?
I'm gonna be like, no, you're very convincing. It's like sarcastically.
Well, it just seems to be a merchant from Umbar, so I think we just push on.
Okay.
And I don't think I had to with Aaron because Aaron seems a nice, naive little boy that probably just takes everything at face value for
Probably.
things like that.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's all about knowledge, and so. Alright. You guys trek on for another day after More the Merchant. Wow. I didn't say that out loud until just now.
More
sounds
the
really dumb.
merchant.
Treks further south as your paths divide. And over the next day, the rain subsides and sort of lifts, and it's a little bit overcast, but you do come to the point where the rivers meet, and you do look around and you see all sorts of manner of foliage and overgrowth. We'll say... Actually, yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. You've arrived at your destination. I'll say that much.
Locke, you're good
I'm
at
gonna
finding. You're good at finding plants.
Yep, I'm gonna start scouring the edge of the
I
water.
trust
like-
I trust your knowledge, Locke, and I'm gonna go ahead and give him a gift die.
I would like to assist with my own background of herb lore too.
Okay.
I'd like to assist by standing there and looking pretty.
You keep supervising, Cirion. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, I'll stand guard, honestly.
You
Okay.
should pick one of those flowers and just like put it in your hair, Cirion.
I'll do that.
Locke, you can give a survival check at advantage from the assistants, and plus whatever the gift die is to
Do we still have the -1 as well?
Yeah, so
Okay, that's I wanted to make sure. And what's the gift die? A D4 or a D6?
Gift die is a D6 still. It's bigger next level.
So add advantage as well, correct?
Yep.
Oh no!
Boy, am I gonna need that. Come on, 6. 14. 13.
13.
Damn it.
Yep. 13. With Fig's help, you guys sort of go down to like the embankment of the river. You do find it sort of is hidden where the river meets. Whoops! Punch my mic. Meets the terrain, and it's almost scattered amongst tall reeds, but it is close to the water and the ground itself. And you begin harvesting away and trying to get as many as you can. With a 13. We'll say you gather enough for essentially 2 boxes, like little tea boxes of sorts.
Now that I've seen the leaf itself as well, am I familiar with what it might be? Or
yes. I was going to tell once I brought it back up that both you and Locke would recognize this as Shadowthorn.
That's not a nice
And what
name.
is Shadowthorn?
Wait, the tea leaf? The thing he held up beforehand?
What?
Never mind.
The tea was sent to collect a
No,
Shadowthorn.
What's your question?
Yeah, so I thought I asked if I recognized it earlier, so
He
I
didn't
wouldn't
have
have
it.
known. Okay.
Yeah,
He only
Dorsey didn't
described
have
it.
any.
And you notice like the plant itself is Shadowthorn, but the leaves are what he's looking for. Not sort of like the stalk and the root and everything that the plant has. But if you wanted to bring the full plant back, you can, or you can just harvest the leaves. It's up to you.
You think?
I want to bring at least a few of the full plants back to see if I can transplant them.
I was gonna say, do you think they would grow in Pelargir? Little garden.
By water, they might. What do I know about the plant itself?
You know, it typically grows amongst trees, and considering where you are, there is some tree population that sort of overshadows the river. Its root and stalk itself is typically a dark black. And yeah, at first glance it kind of looks a little sinister, but it's predominantly found in forests, and since there isn't really a far-flung forest other than Athelion nearby, this one's sort of like a diamond in the rough for those that need Shadowthorn.
But it is a safe for consumption.
If prepared properly, yes. It does
Okay.
have its benefits amongst scholars and the like.
Okay.
However, this is the first you're hearing of someone using the leaves for tea, so that might be interesting.
Nah. I think it would be. I think gathering a couple of plants themselves for transplant is a excellent idea, Locke.
Okay. We'll say with the amount of leaves you intend to fill that box with, you probably bring back 3 Shadowthorn entirety of the 3 of the plants, which will yield the amount of leaves that you're bringing.
And then we'll have the rest of the plant to transplant.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I mean, we were sent 3 days journey to pick some plants. We did it. Mission accomplished, lad. Everyone.
Hopefully we can have a more calm trip back and get back in time to deliver these.
Yes, indeed. I see no reason to linger here.
All right.
Okay.
So
South
I
face.
think we're gonna go ahead and start.
Walk back south.
Okay. So at Locke's behest, you guys gather what you need and begin heading south, essentially tracking back the path that you came from. And this whole area has been fairly well mapped and pathed. So besides the fact that you had rain for 2 days and had to slog through it, it's a fairly easygoing route in this area of Gondor. You get through the first day of your return journey and continue heading south. In about early evening of the second day, Locke, go ahead and make an arrival roll.
How do I do that?
Just roll a d8.
Yeah,
I don't like the way he's
the timing seems off. Oh my gosh.
That's about on par for the course. That's how the embarkation was too. So the landing is gonna be shit as well.
Add 1 to your roll, whatever it was.
Is one
So-
also
and this
subtracted from this?
This doesn't take the -1 because this
Okay.
isn't a skill check.
So it's a 2. Assuming
Yeah,
nothing else is added to the D8.
You got a total of 2.
Not 1. What do you want?
We show up and they're like, "You're arrested for treason for picking the protected flowers."
We want them executed. Well, fuck.
Not the first time.
Speedrun getting banned from every city in Middle Earth.
God, no, thank you.
Feels like the first time.
So despite the rain having eased up, the road itself is still fairly muddied and you're struggling moving through it. Everybody takes 1 point of exhaustion.
Ugh.
Are we done yet?
I actually cracked that on the sheet. I feel dumb right now.
Look out. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
What is 1 point of exhaustion? Is
Disadvantage
that
on skill
disadvantage?
checks.
So we have disadvantage and -1 now? Ugh.
I'm not having fun anymore.
Sorry. What do you want from me?
Sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Okay, real quick. So
Or
we
in
do
our
have.
case, bad things happen to bad people.
So disadvantage on perception check.
Disadvantage and -1 as far as I know.
Okay, I just selected that to save me some time.
What do your man eyes see?
Rain. And where the fuck? And just point somewhere. Wherever the fuck that is.
I think that's a tree.
You're a tree.
You guys trek on,
Fuck.
and it's not until you get probably another quarter to a half mile from where you are that Cirion, you begin to hear something, and at the same time the rest of you hear something of a soft groaning and moaning somewhere off into the woods. Help! Somebody!
This has to be a trap. This has trap written all over it.
Yeah, but
Fig, you should go help.
Figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with her.
I'll hang
Okay.
back this time.
I'm gonna bring up the rear, kind of like just. I'm actually gonna stay behind cover while they're gonna go help them.
Okay, good. Give me a
Yeah.
stealth check.
Yeah,
at
I'm gonna
disadvantage.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
And
12,
can I hold an action?
11, and 10.
So can I hold an action with my bow if? How do I want to word this? If this guy does anything aggressive or hostile towards them, I take a shot.
Sure.
I'm
Okay.
not gonna
Shot at
hold
what?
an action.
Okay.
I don't want to jump the gun too fast.
Well, this is gonna be like it's a clear hostile. It's not like it's not like a deception. Like he reaches for them. It's like, oh, that's hostile, bitch.
Okay.
No, it's like he whips out a sword right in front of them, kind of hostile.
Locke and Fig, you guys trek forward through the brush and don't get too far off the path where this moaning gets a little bit louder and the cries for help. And it's just before you sort of clear some brush away, that last cry for help comes from a voice that sounds familiar. And as you pull it away, you see a small figure slumped against a tree with an arrow into her abdomen and blood sort of splattered across. You see Laura.
I rush over.
Oh, thank the Valenor. What are you doing out here?
What are you doing out here?
What was it? Arrow stuck in her where, and what else wound?
Abdomen.
That's the arrow, or that's the wound? Or both?
Same,
Yes.
same difference.
Oh, it's just one wound.
Yeah, there's one arrow in her, and she's slumped on the ground, and, propped up against a tree.
I'm gonna say hold still and just break the arrow out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to rip off or take off my cloak and just start using that as pressure to hold it. And I'm gonna quickly glance around to see if there's if there's like, I know what Athelas looks like. If there's anything around that can help.
Give me a survival check at disadvantage.
-1.
I don't know why I
Minus
keep
one.
bothering rolling survival. It never works. Yeah, 7.
There doesn't appear to be any Athelas immediately present. But
Well, then I'm, is there anything around her? Is everything still wet from the rain?
it's soggy.
I'm going
The
to...
ground's wet. Like there's not like puddles everywhere. Like where you are, the
Yeah.
trees sort of like took it all. But the path you came from is pretty muddied still.
I'm going to, after holding pressure for a while, I want to check if the bleeding has at least stopped a little bit. Or if it's just ugly.
If you broke the arrow, did you pull it out?
Yeah, I wanted to
Okay.
do all of that and then use my cloak as pressure on the wound.
Okay. With taking your time to do that, you don't find any Athelas, but you are able to sort of apply pressure to the wound and stem the bleeding for now. Thank you.
What?
And- does anyone happen to know what's in our... Why is this not responding? In our, traveling gear by any chance off the top of their head? I thought I wrote it down and I don't have it.
I don't know it off the top of my head.
Because I want to see if I have something to start a burn to cauterize. Where is the player's guide? Here it is.
Your traveling gear?
Yeah, I think we started in spring.
Appropriate garb, backpack, blanket, mess kit, a flask of oil, a pouch, 50 feet of rope, 5 torches, a water skin, and a whetstone.
Nothing to like with.
No. Okay. What's the color of her skin? Does she look like she's been bleeding out a bit already?
She's a little pale, but she doesn't look like she's immediately at death's door.
What happened?
At this point, Malvhor is going to... Obviously, an attack hasn't broken out. Malvor's going to come closer and see what's happening.
Yeah, I'm actually, if anything, I'm gonna put my arrow and bow away and move up, kind of like survey the area. Can I Let them do their thing first before I continue.
She looks at you, Locke. We were hunting a pack of boars. We lost the trail and we started heading back 2 days off of schedule. We were attacked by some menacing, pale-looking fellas.
The child.
I don't know. You just see like her eyes widen up and start looking around. You see this like the color fade from her face. Madeline, 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 where are you? She starts propping herself up against the tree and starts standing up.
I keep her against the tree.
You have to find her.
We will.
Yeah. Yes.
One of us should make sure she's okay. The other three can go start searching, or I don't think we can just carry her around while trying to find her.
Nope.
You keep pressure on the wound. We'll go look.
Does anyone have anything on them? Didn't someone still have Athalas salve?
I think I did, but I think I used it on Locke.
No. I have one that I never used, unless you guys used it while you were playing for me.
No.
Nope. I
So
avoided.
good
using
news.
potions.
Good news. I have exactly one Athalas. So yes, I will pull that out.
Okay. Go
I'll
ahead
remove
and
the cloak and let Locke work.
go ahead and roll 1d4 plus 1.
Hey.
There we go.
5. As the cloak gets removed and you pour a little bit onto the wound itself and then hand it off to her to drink the rest, you see her sort of calm a bit and the cloak comes back to just sort of keep it in place. Thank you, Adolf. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Now, is she...
I know what
Picks
it's
up the
like. I know what it's like to be impaled through that general area, and kind of show the scar from the stalagmite.
It's not pleasant, is it?
No. Though I think I'd honestly have taken the arrow out of preference.
I'm gonna
She
start
looks at
looking.
the three of... She looks at the other three. You're fucking lucky, let me tell you. Anyway, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna start looking for tracks.
Gift
Okay.
eye.
Me?
Okay.
Yeah, gift eye to you. You're looking for tracks. You're looking for Malwyn's tracks. Of course I'm gonna give you a gift eye because we have to find the child.
Yes. Any footprints that basically lead away, seemingly recent.
As you're doing that, Laura grabs her bow that was laying on the ground next to her and places it on her lap.
What is it, a 10?
Yep, 10. As everyone gathers around Laura as you sort of go off and look for tracks. Luckily, they're not terribly well hidden, and the rain and the mud has made it fairly easy to track. So a 10 just barely squeaks by.
So, okay.
What?
No, I was gonna ask, are they they're during or before the rain then? The tracks?
I mean, the ground is still muddied, so moving through is still leaving heavy footprints. It's not like dry earth right now.
Yeah,
And this couldn't have been too terribly long ago if she hasn't bled out.
that's
Right.
okay.
You see about 4 pair of light footfalls, smaller creatures of sorts, that head off in sort of westward. They lead into the river, and then you see them appear back on the other side.
This might sound really stupid and might not work anyways, but I've been wanting to try it and kept telling myself no narratively, but I'm just gonna, because it's Fig, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to Laura and ask her if she has anything of Merowyn's.
She thinks about it for a moment. She reaches behind her off of her pouch and pulls out a leather-wrapped arm guard. Here.
I'm gonna
She
take
was
the
wear-
arm guard.
She was wearing it for a few days during a hunt. And then it got uncomfortable, which told her she had to get used to it, but I'd carry it for her.
No. I have an idea. I'm going to... Oh, except how long does this take?
3 days west.
Up to an hour? An hour is too long. This
I
is
mean,
up
we
to-
gotta cross the river.
I don't know whether to use my meditation or not, but I don't like that it says...
What's the
Okay.
specific writing?
It just says up to an hour.
Yeah, up to. It doesn't have to be an hour. Basically, it's saying a short rest.
Okay, there's not enough time for that. I will just go with what I was gonna say. I'm looking back at the tracks. This is dumb. But I just imagine Vig taking the armband and like smelling it while
Okay.
clutching her at her necklace and thinking back to probably still current instincts, but earlier instincts of having to traverse areas by herself before in ways of still surviving, and seeing if she can, along with seeing the tracks, be able to pick up some sort of faint scent of Merowyn to just
Okay.
also cling on as assurance.
Okay. Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Do we see the tracks? We know the tracks go to the other side of the river.
Fig,
Point
you
them out
relay that
after.
info?
Yeah, I will point
Okay.
them out after I grab the arm guard.
Okay. Yeah. See.
Well, we need to cross the river. We need to catch up to them and find Malwyn as soon as possible.
But I gesture towards
Malwyn. Malwyn is
What, you gesturing at me, elf?
Malwyn is a child. Laura has been helped and can take care of herself, I imagine, at this point.
All right. First of all, fuck both of you. One, for assuming I'm a problem. Two, for not caring about me. All right? Got that clear?
Do you want
Wonderful.
to come or do you want to go?
I'll stay here.
going to say, no part of me viewed you as a problem. I just understand, like I said, what it feels like to have a hole in your stomach.
I'm fairly adept at staying out of sight when I want to be. A little harder when you have a kid with you. I'll stay here. I'll do what I can to stay
I
out of
jump
sight.
across the river right as she says that then. Or at least
Okay.
try.
Stay safe.
You just one leap across the river.
The moment she says, fine, I'll stay here, she just fucking dashes
So-
and goes.
As you say stay safe, Locke, you see her reach into the back of her quiver and pull out an arrow and notch it in the bow that she sits on her lap and just winks. Don't worry, I will.
Don't put it in my back, please.
Not today.
And I'll go after Vic.
I'm 20 feet ahead if I'm allowed now.
Yeah, sure, totally. Bounding.
I am. Big, heavy footfalls. Just running.
Just a running. Where is... Here we go. This should work. I think it'll get the point home.
I don't like the point this is giving me.
I don't either.
Can we not?
Is that looping? Let me make sure that loops first. I want to make sure it stays up for a good long while.
I hate you right now.
There we go. Following
I think the party needs to unionize here against Brian.
Sauron gets the ring, you all die.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Following Fig's lead as she bounds through the woods on the opposite side of the bank, 20 feet out ahead of you, you try to keep pace as you rush through the woods, leaving Laura behind, wounded, though stable and healed for the most part. Following the tracks of four sets of tracks of small, light-footed creatures, where Laura claimed they are pale fellas. Eventually, maybe after early next morning as the sun rises.
Oh.
Yeah. You come to a small brook in the river, or a small brook in the forest, or woods. As you sort of stop and see a peppering of hills in this area. And the one in particular that these tracks lead to appears to open up by about 12-15 foot high hole into the side of one of these hills, and you can see lights flickering from the inside.
Well, I mean, we're going in.
You're just going right in?
No doubt. Well, I'm saying that as in character, not doing it.
Fig's going right in.
I'll be right behind Fig. No hesitation.
I'm raging. Furying, whatever.
Okay. What are the other two doing?
Going in to die with my friends, I guess.
I can take it.
All right.
Take it. I'm in a fury by the time I whatever bust in through whatever.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and I guess follow it.
All right. Without hesitation or skipping her gait, Fig leaps over this small brook and clears the gap and basically lands into the mouth of this opening, this cave. And she continues to run, and as the rest of you still trailing about 10-15 feet behind, you see her come in and immediately sort of slide to a stop. Fig, you see a campfire sort of lit in the center of this cave opening, and off to your left, a bit of a, maybe up about 5 feet, like a small embankment that goes up to a flat surface. It just looks to be like some sort of natural flat plateau. Off to the side, you see several boxes and crates, and over to the other side, you see bags and hempen sort of containers. On top of one of the, immediately in front of you, you see two of those small, pale creatures that you fought in the forest not too long ago. On the other side of that campfire, you see a larger individual from the other two, completely cloaked and masked and everything, but you see him reaching for a sword, and the one up on, and you see another one similar to the one down by the fire on top of that plateau embankment that begins pulling up an arrow from a quiver. On immediately the other side of this cave, you see two torches lit that open up into, that light a pathway deeper into the cave.
No
I'm
child.
gonna ask, not immediately from what you see. I'm gonna ask this now. Do we want to roll initiative now or next week?
Now.
One for now.
Honestly,
It's 10:30.
Honestly, I'm gonna say next week. I feel like this is a good cliffhanger, good place to
It's gonna be
end.
long.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be we roll initiative and then like we would pick it up next week.
I
That's
think
what
the
thought we were asking.
implication is.
If we
Oh.
roll
Fight
initiative,
now.
Are we doing
combat
this
tonight.
tonight or are we doing this next week?
If we roll
Oh.
initiative right now, we're playing this combat through until it ends. There's 4 creatures Fig spots.
Right now.
2 of which she recognizes because you fought them before. The other 2 she does not.
I do think we could handle 4 creatures pretty quickly, but
But we're also exhausted.
Combat drags
which
off.
only affects skill checks.
Not
Your
attack
attacks are
rolls.
currently fine.
Because we're only level 1, not level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my original. I'm gonna say now.
I say next week.
Okay.
To next week.
Good.
I'm
Okay.
my gut says next week. I
No problem.
don't
Okay.
know, but yeah.
We'll make a whole
Okay.
dungeon out of it.
We probably
Fuck you guys.
will.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
There's also that part of me that's like, maybe he'll do a recap, and we have a chance at having a butt-saving roll next week, but we'll see.
Maybe. I mean, you guys would, in theory, one of you should walk away with inspiration at the start of next week.
True.
If you give a fun, decent recap.
The child.
All right. So as Fig breaks through the mouth of this cave and immediately clocks 4 creatures that are immediately reaching for weapons in a defensive stance, the rest of you, 10 to 15 feet behind her, that's where we'll pick up next week.
You said 2 of them are cloaked.
They're cloaked and wearing masks. Like, you can see, like, eyes, but it's also low lit, so you can't really make out any features.
Okay, but so when you mean before, you mean like
The two
The-
smaller from
like
the
a few
combat
weeks
session
ago.
I missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fought the 2 smaller pale ones on your way to Pelargir.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just making sure I was understanding that
All right.
reference.
Yeah.
Me too, believe me, especially since I didn't get to do that fight.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is right.
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
But you've
At
tracked
least
them-
there's not a troll with them.
Not
Yet.
yet.
But you tracked the 4 footprints to here at least, so you're on the right path. But there is no immediate signs of Merwin. But you do see that the cave opens up further in.
Ooh boy.
No, I'll
Is
wait till next
Brian?
week.
Does
Okay.
Brian have the audacity to kill a child on stream?
Abso-fucking
No.
Yes.
I think he does. I think he does. So
Pride as a DM demands the capacity.
I like
Maybe
how
not the act, but the
I like
ability.
how only his significant other was the only one who went, no, he doesn't, and everyone else went, yeah, he does.
he'll kill as many
Well-
make-believe children as he wants.
Well, so if the lookout's perception coming back was a natural 1, you would have found Laura, but dead.
Oh no. Oh no, that would have been so bad.
Not holding back. So we'll see what happens, but we'll pick up again next week. So thank you all for
Where
joining
if
us.
the child dies?
What lies beneath this hill in the middle of Lebanon? We'll see what the Fellowship finds. See you next week. Stay proficient.